Hey guys, what's up? So Yanni and I have received some questions about what kind of training we do, and we figured we would make a video explaining to people what we like in terms of training, what we do, and what we think is effective.
I follow a conjugate style programming by Simon from Aesthetics. It's a 6 week cycle.
The program I follow is called PH3. It's a 13-week trainer that was put out by Lane Norton.
The main thing with conjugate is it deals with weak point training. So the guiding principle is if you're deadlifting and you have weak hamstrings, you hammer on the stiff legs and stuff like that. So basically, the outline of the program is you have a max effort lower day, a max effort upper day, a dynamic effort lower day, and a dynamic effort upper day. So I bench twice a week, squat twice a week, and deadlift twice a week. Monday will be my max effort lower, for example, and so I may work up to a heavy single with bands, resistance bands. So coming out of the hole, it'll be something I've done before in manageable weight, but as I get up and the tension increases, it helps me get out of those sticking points because I feel more weight on my back. So if I have like 295 on the bar, I get down, and as the band tension increases as I go up, at the top it'll be around 315 or something higher than that, depending on the bands you use. So it really helps with sticking points and stuff like that. So that would be my max effort day, maybe working up to a heavy single and then dropping down 80% and doing either a 3x5 or a 5x3, depending on the fatigue level you are at. So then after that, I may do um, conventional conventional deficits. Conventional deadlifts and then sumo stiff legs. And so every time I do either conventional, regular pulling from the floor, I'll do either deficit sumos or stiff leg sumos, and vice versa. So whenever I'm pulling sumo from the floor, I'll do deficit conventional or stiff leg conventional. So it works around all these weak points by having you do a bunch of accessory work that builds up to the main movement.
Based off of something called daily undulating periodization. So basically, that means that you hit each lift at a greater frequency than once per week. Well, ideally, greater than once per week. And each time you do it, you hit it for different reps. It's called DUP for short, so that's what I'm going to refer to it as instead of saying the entire thing. So, like I just said, PH3 is based off of DUP, which has you, this program has you squatting and benching 3 times a week and deadlifting twice a week with different rep schemes each time you do it. So it also has you doing accessory work on 4 days of the week, so it's not like you're doing just the big three and not getting any accessories in. So one of the basic concepts of DUP is that if you work in a higher rep range, then you can create greater hypertrophy. So then you'll have more muscle mass with which you can move more weight with in lower reps. And also vice versa. So if you then get stronger in a lower rep range, you can move more weight in a higher rep range and get bigger and then move more weight in a lower rep range. So it's like the yin and yang of powerlifting. Another benefit of training this way is you get more practice with the thing you're trying to get better at. So a question that people that are in favor of DUP like to ask is if let's say your family was held hostage and the only way to free them was if you added 100 pounds to your squat in a month. Now, keeping that in mind, are you going to squat once a week and do some variations of a squat and hope that you get 100 pounds on your total, or are you going to squat as much as possible and as frequently as possible in order to get a lot better at squatting in a shorter period of time? And hopefully the answer is that you're going to do it more frequently, because the more frequently you do something, the better you get at it. So throughout each of the phases, there are AMRAP sets that determine your increase or decrease if you do poorly, hopefully you don't, in weight for the next week. The AMRAP sets essentially determine your progress, provided that you've put in the work on the other days. And then at the end of each phase, there's a mini taper, so I don't think the volume gets cut quite by 50%, but there's a mini taper, and then there's a rep test where you test the amount of reps you can get on each lift all in one day with a predetermined amount of weight. And the numbers that you hit determine your weight increase or your calculated max for the next phase. which then determines what weights you'll be hitting in that phase.
I've been following this style of program for about, I just finished up my second cycle of it, so 12 weeks, so about 3 months. And I love it because also I have a lot of elbow pain right here. I don't know if it's like tendonitis or something, but low bar squatting really hurts. So then the next day when I have to bench, it's really affected. But with conjugate style, you do a lot of different types of squats. So maybe my main movement for a squat will be the front squat that day, alleviates pain, or if it's a safety bar squat or a box squat or anything. So it hits the frequency of the lifts and increases your strength because it's targeting those weak points, but it also can alleviate pain for stuff like that. So that's why I like the conjugate a lot.
I've done one training block of it. I'm on my second right now. I'll probably continue to train like this until I see myself as too advanced and I need a coach. But that'll probably be a while for now. That'll probably be a while from now. And because of this program, I've kind of realized that, in my opinion, there's really no other way to train that's going to be as effective. So at the point in time where I do find a coach, I'm going to have to find someone that knows how to program like this and trains like this themselves.
I haven't tested my numbers since just finishing this last cycle because of a lower back injury, but after the first 6 weeks, my numbers went up over 45 pounds, my total. Probably could have gone up more if I chose my numbers better, but I was just, that's a story for another time. Fuck me.
My last test of maxes were around 6 months before I started the program, and I squatted 405, deadlifted 500, and bench 240. But the big thing here is I wasn't really used to moving heavy weight frequently, so my confidence under the bar was really terrible, and my setups were terrible, my form was terrible. Basically, I'm surprised I even got the weights that I did. And so when I had tried to squat 405, I had attempted it maybe 6 times and gotten it twice out of those 6 times. And so basically this program PH3 has helped me immensely in my form and my setup and my confidence, and that I think is what helped me increase my maxes so much. They went up to a 435 squat, 260 bench, and 535 deadlift. So I went from 11, my total was 1145 I think, and so now it's at 1230, and I'm trying to get it up to 1245 in a meet, which hopefully I'll do in the end of April, so I can qualify for nationals. And so if I qualify for nationals on this program, that'll be proof to you all how great this program is.
But yeah, so that's why I follow the conjugate style program. I love it. Nico does DUP, Lane Norton's PH3, so it shows different sides to the different programs that we do. The guiding principles in every program are pretty much the same. You know, progressive overload, frequency of lifts, form, everything. Just, it's a different way to approach it. And the great thing is in powerlifting, there's no one way. Every great powerlifter, not all of them train the same. Jesse Norris does ridiculously high amounts of volume, whereas other people like Garrett of Masthetics, he does this conjugate style. This is his program, him and Simon's, and Garrett pulls over 700, and he's 181 pounds, which is ridiculous. So that's the great thing about powerlifting. There's no one way, but this is the way I've been doing it, and I might stick with it. I'm just kind of in the limbo for the next 2 weeks, gonna just do whatever, and then when I'm fully healed, I'm gonna get back on a program, go to even PH3 maybe, but I don't know with that frequency. I don't know if I can handle that, or I may do Candido's program, but yeah, don't know. We'll see what happens.
So yeah, basically the frequency and the volume of this program is what's helped me so much. And I always question when people are on conjugate programs how they get enough practice with like the original squat, bench, and deadlift. And I just don't think that any amount of weak point training or accessory work can really replace the pure practice that you get lifting like squat, bench, and deadlift frequently. So, okay, so basically that's how I train. That's what I think is effective.
Please like, share, subscribe, comment below any questions you still have on any of these programs, PH3, conjugate style training, or any other ones. Any question in general, really. And we'll get back to you as soon as possible. So yeah, thank you for watching.